Hello, fellow fairy friends. It's Allie and Ellie back here being an absolute menace. Remember us? Yeah, it's been a while. Let's do a little life update since it's been just about 2 years and a lot has changed. Obviously, different background. I've moved. I have the library of my dreams. I posted a short doing a little room tour, so check that out if you're interested. I'm a mom as of 8 months ago. I have not slept in 8 months. I've gained 30 pounds, but I am the happiest I have ever been in my whole life. This is the most fulfilled. It's the hardest job, but the best job I've ever had. And in those 2 years, I have read a ton of amazing books. So I would like to tell you today some of the best books, my top books that I've read in that time in no particular order. Jade City by Fonda Lee, one of the most incredible trilogies I've ever read in my entire life. I've never given a series 5 stars across the board until this, and I still stand by it all this time later. When I closed the book, when I read the very last page of the very last book, I laid in bed and sobbed because it felt like a loss. I loved being in this world. I loved getting to know these characters. It was just, this is a masterclass in fantasy writing. I can't say enough good things. There's action, there's political intrigue, there's tense family dynamics. It's just everything you could ever want in a fantasy story, truly. Wayward. This was a cover buy. I'm not gonna lie, I had zero expectations. This is me in a book cover. This is my aesthetic. It's dark, botanical with the crow. I just love it. I love looking at my shelf and seeing this book. The story, just as good. This is very witchy, but like springtime witch, not Halloween witch. It's like practical magic. You know how that's like springtime witchy? That's this. And again, it's a family drama. I don't know. I just love family drama. It spans years. It follows 3 different women from the same family, all going through 3 different types of struggles. Highly recommend. Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wong. I put off reading anything from M.L. Wong for so long because I thought M.L. Wong was a man, and I don't prioritize books written by men. This was incredible. It is so powerful in the themes and what it has to say. The magic system is one of the most intriguing I've read in a long time. These I forgot what they're called, like mages can do spell work through a typewriter. It's called a spellograph. So interesting. I've never read anything like it. I'm just in awe of M.L. Wong's ability to write full character arcs in like a 400-500 page book. This is a standalone, and if any other author wrote this, they would take 5 books to do what she did in one. It's incredible. Slooh Foot by Brahm, another beautiful cover. I keep this on my shelf displayed so I can look at it every day. This is a Halloween witch book. It's vibey, it's atmospheric, it's mystical. There are forest gods that I find so interesting in this, and the story. If you liked the movie The Witch, you'll like this. It's very good for her. There's angry townspeople. Very good. Another cover buy that surprised me. I saw this on the New York Times bestseller list and I was like, maybe I'll check that out. It was so good. This is the best mystery I have read in a really long time. It has so many different points of view, but they all had unique voices, which is very hard to do. This takes place in the 70s at a children's camp. A kid goes missing, and that starts unraveling so many secrets of this place, and the ending was so satisfying. If you guys know me, I struggle with mystery thriller endings, but this one was so good, so satisfying. A fantasy romance called The Spell Shop. This follows a librarian named Keela who has to flee the major city in the area because there is an uprising, and she steals books and takes them all with her back to her childhood home on an island to lay low, and things kind of unravel from there. She starts a spell shop and she starts illegally selling spells out of it. It's so good. There's a cute little romance. I knew I loved this love interest when he built her bookshelves with his bare hands. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is a romance book with depth. I need plot, I need conflict, I need a good reason why the main characters like each other or love each other, and this gave me all of the above. I cannot wait to read more from this author. I have so many on my list. I'll get to it. Give me time. Finally, an Ali Hazelwood book that I love. Last time I left off 2 years ago, I was telling you guys how much I hated The Love Hypothesis. I still don't like that one, but this one feels like it was written for me. This kind of STEM rivals to lovers, the spice scene, the tension, the longing, it was all there. And I loved the main character's struggle with anxiety and anxious thoughts. I thought that it was so well done. 7 Days in June. I read it this month and it quickly became one of my favorite books of all time. It deserves every bit of hype it gets. It has angst, it has tension. It's kind of a second chance romance. It gets put into the romance category. It is heavy on the romance, but I wouldn't call this a traditional romance. One of my favorite characters in this book is the main character's 12-year-old daughter. She was so sassy. I loved her. It just tugged on my heartstrings. It gave me butterflies. It made me kick my feet into the air. It's so good. Vampires of El Norte. This is light on the vampires. It's a gothic western horror. It gives, but Daddy, I love him, which is my favorite. I think about these characters to this day. I read it at the beginning of 2024, and yeah, this is still at the forefront of my mind. Last but not least, not a book, a fan fiction, but it changed my life. This remains to this day, a year and a half since I read it, the best thing that I have ever read, that I have ever laid my eyes upon. The best depiction of an anti-hero, a morally gray character, enemies to lovers, depiction of the effects of war and trauma. Oh my gosh, I cannot sing the praises of this enough. If you guys didn't know, this is Dramione fanfiction. It is currently getting rewritten to be traditionally published by Senlin Yu. It's going to be called Alchemize. So I don't know if you can download this from AO3 anymore, but I'm sure you could find it somewhere on the internet. You have to read this if you are an enemies to lovers girly like I am. Check the trigger warnings though. It is also the darkest thing I've ever read in my entire life. Well, that just about does it for today's video. I feel kind of awkward filming this. It's so different filming for YouTube than it is for TikTok. That's where I've been the past 2 years. So I don't know, maybe I'll get the hang of this again soon. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in my next one.